So I'm going to go ahead and share the live with as many people as I can, like I always do. And we'll see how many people can get on. And let me see her. Sharing the live with... Let me see her. Sharing the live with... Let me see her. Sharing the live with... And for those of you asking me to share the live with you, like on TikTok, that's not exactly easy at all. I'm starting to realize at all. Because once I'm on a live, I'm on a live. I can't share with anyone. So that's going to be a problem. LIPC. So today we're going to be talking about the Emerald Tablet. Thoth's Emerald Tablet. And I'm waiting for 9 people to get on. And again, this is about the Emerald Tablet, Thoth's Emerald Tablet, the Atlantean, and we're going to go from there. I'm going to jump around because that's how my mind works, and you're going to have to just roll with what I'm doing. And we'll be discussing, hi VDRS, it's good to see you. We'll be discussing this. If you can share the live on your own feed, because this gentleman asked me to share the live when I'm on a live next, and I can't. So I can't share a live on TikTok, because then I have to remove myself from this TikTok, and I can't. I'm going to lose the live. So that's just how it works, okay? So if you guys have a notification on your phones to see me for, when I come on, then that's it. That should be enough. If not, I don't know what to say. I know I'm being shadow banned because I'm actually reposting a lot of things about many things going on with the Palestinians, including... Yahya Sinwar, and this incredible will that he left that was translated by this beautiful, fantastic high priestess who actually read his will. Yahya Sinwar, who read his will with the kind of stoic power and translated. It fucking sounds like poetry. So once again, that little occupational... country that's decided that they were the chosen, they were chosen for something. What, I have no idea, but definitely they were chosen. So if you understand that I'm being shadow banned because I am vocal, because I'm a humanist, I'm not a feminist, I'm not I don't believe in one race over another, I'm a humanist. And because I'm a humanist, I am enjoying things like the Emerald Tablet, because these are the masters. So I'm going to start with the 7 lords. Now, you might have heard me say this before, but here we go. Chapter 9, the 7 lords. Emerald Tablet 7. The masters of the cycles are working in correlation to the cyclical cycles of the rise and fall of civilization, as well as the rise and fall of humankind's energetic light being. Thoth is telling humanity that he is headed towards a higher frequency shift that will allow him to reach higher dimensions of consciousness. There are dark forces that seek to keep humankind at a lower material frequency. The 7 lords also represent the established 7 chakra centers that were set up to allow humankind to reach higher realms of consciousness. We now have 9 chakras, okay? 9 somatic chakras. Now, I want you to buy the book. It's not cheap. It's called The Emerald Tablet, A Beginner's Guide by Billy Carson. I've looked at other Emerald Tablets versions because I really like having more than one version. Like, for example, for the crystal skulls, I have 3 or 4 different versions of the crystal skull because I like to hear everyone's viewpoint on the Mitchell Hedges skull, for example, and crystal skulls in general that are there, that were put there by ancient sentient beings to keep the grid of this planet in balance, similarly to what you will see when people do crystal grids using various sacred geometric patterns to balance something out. You would have seen that with Wiccas when they do different things, like different circles, and you would have seen that with mandalas with the Tibetans. But they're using crystals, okay, for that. Knowledge of Hare Krishna. In the incarnation of Krishna appears there are 4 ages, yugas, for acquiring knowledge: gold, silver, bronze, and hypocrisy. I encourage you to read about these 4 ages in your quest to learn all manifestations of acquiring knowledge and consciousness. Research more about this from this website. I'm going to give it to you. www.harikrishnatemplecom/chapter19.html. Why is this important? Well, the great minds of the planet have all read the Bhagavad Gita. So yeah, there's some knowledge here that you need. And again, if that is going to make you uncomfortable because you're a devotee to whatever religion you're attached to, if it's keeping you from higher knowledge, then it is no longer your Linus blanket, it becomes your jailer. Think about that. Okay? I'm not going to be politically correct today. This is not that I'm ever, but this is definitely not the day. But let's begin. And Thoth said, "Hark, ye, O man, and list to my voice. Open that mind space and drink of my wisdom. Dark is the pathway of light that ye travel, many the pitfalls that lie in thy way. Seek ye ever to gain greater wisdom. Attain, and it shall be light on that way." Attain means you open your eyes and keep going. Don't be afraid of the dark shadows and the dark hallways that you have to travel through before you get to your light. Hold on. Open thy soul, O man, to the cosmic, and let it flow in as one with thy soul. Light is eternal, and darkness is fleeting. Seek ye ever, O man, for the light. Know ye that ever as light fills thy being, darkness for thee shall soon disappear. Did you hear that? Darkness for thee shall soon disappear. Yeah, if you keep going in your evolution, your ascension, of course darkness will disappear. Open thy soul to the brothers of brightness. Let them enter and fill thee with light. Lift up thine eyes to the light of the cosmos. Keep thou ever thy face to the goal. Only by gaining the light of all wisdom art thou one with the infinite goal. Seek ye ever the oneness eternal. Seek ye ever the light into one. Hear ye, O man, list to my voice, singing the song of light and of life. Throughout all space, light is prevalent, encompassing all with its banners, its flames. Seek ye forever in the veil of darkness. Somewhere you shall surely find light. Is he talking about any darkness at all, except to say through the dark, somewhere you shall surely find light? Is he talking about any darkness at all, except to say through the darkness you will find your light? And what is light? It is your original truth of who you are. The shadows that you've had to endure in this on many incarnations, the shadows of being foot soldiers and warriors and men of darkness and women of darkness, high priestesses, women who use their wiles to destroy men using that. You can look at who am I thinking of? Samson and Delilah. Samson and Delilah is a perfect example of a woman using her wiles to enslave a man and to destroy a man out of pure jealousy, out of just pure competition. We've all had these experiences, and those are the shadows that you have to put to rest and forgive. Let's continue. Hidden and buried, lost to man's knowledge, deep in the finite of the infinite exists, lost but existing, flowing through all things, living in all, is the infinite brain. In all space there is only one wisdom. Through seeming decided, it is one in the one. All that exists comes forth from the light, and the light comes from the all. What is the all? The creator, the one of 1,000 names. Everything created is based upon order. Law rules the space where the infinite dwells. Forth from equilibrium came the great cycles, moving in harmony towards infinity's end. Know ye, O man, that far in the space-time, infinity itself shall pass into change. Hear ye and list to the voice of wisdom. Know that all is of all evermore. Know that through time thou may pursue wisdom and find ever more light on the way. Know that through time thou may pursue wisdom, and find ever more light on the way. Aye, thou shalt find that ever receding, thy goal shall elude thee from day unto day. Long time ago in the halls of Amenti, I Thoth stood before the lords of the cycles. Mighty they in their aspects of power, mighty they in the wisdom unveiled. Led by the dweller first did I see them, but afterwards free was I of their presence, free to enter their conclave at will. Did you hear that? Free to enter their conclave at will, oft did I journey down in the dark pathway unto the hall where the light ever glows. Well, you're not going to get there by being in your 3D monkey mind that's totally cynical. It's not going to work. So how would he get there? And we keep saying the same thing through pranayama, through work. Didn't he mention chakras? Through the chakra work, through the pranayama, through the meditation, through the constant using mantras to control your monkey mind, to train your monkey mind so that you can get these incredible downloads and you can go and at will visit these realms where you'll learn, you'll meet the Galactic Council, you'll meet the Lords of the Cycles. Learned I of the Masters of Cycle, wisdom brought from the cycles above. Manifest they in this cycle as guides of man to the knowledge of all. 7 are they, mighty in power, speaking these words through me to men. Time after time stood I before them, listening to words that came not with a sound. Well, it's telepathy. And that's exactly how it comes to you. It would come through telepathy. No one's using their mouth because the kind of complex esoteric ideas can't even be articulated. And telepathy will come knowledge through visions, through images, through fragments of words sometimes, flashing words, flashing numbers. I had a client recently who was actually getting a number flashed, and I go, you looked it up, didn't you? No, he didn't look it up. What? Wait a minute, you're in a meditation and they flash you a number and you didn't go to check what the hell that meant? In all of the calculations that would come from those 3 numbers that were given to you, what you think this was an aimless, random moment? That's gaslighting. Okay, shall we go on? Once they unto me, O man, wouldst thou gain wisdom? Seek for it in the heart of the flame. Wouldst thou gain knowledge of power? Seek ye in the heart of the flame. Wouldst be one with the heart of the flame? Seek then within thy own hidden flame. Did you hear what they said? They said basically, you know what we know. This is the lost years of Yeshua. This is Yeshua going to the 3 wise men who came when he was born and learned this. And Thoth had been gone many thousands of years before Yeshua came to this kind of knowledge, which was kept from the 99%. Did you hear that? Seek ye it in the heart of the flame. Wouldst be one with the heart of the flame. Seek then within thine own hidden flame. Many the time spoke they to me, teaching me wisdom not of the world, showing me ever new paths to brightness, teaching me wisdom brought from above, giving knowledge of operation, learning of law, the order of all. Spoke to me again the 7, saying, from far beyond time are we come, O man. Traveled we from beyond space-time, I from the planet of infinity's end. Makes me want to cry. That this was prevented. That people lost their lives over the Bible and other books when it was not worth it, when this was the original book to read. It's amazing to me. And again unto me spoke the 7, saying, child of the light, O Thoth art thou, free to travel the bright path upward, until at last all ones become one. Until at last all ones become one. Do you know there are people that use the Bible, and they have used the Bible to argue the point of slavery and racial disparity? What does he say here? Until at last all ones become one. Once again, we see Thoth alluding to the fact that separation is an illusion. The truth becomes more apparent as we dwell into the content of the emerald tablets. Consciousness has come to this realm and manifested itself as trillions of entities. The main goal is to experience itself subjectively from all aspects and perspectives of life. We are part of the one. It is the whole that makes up the universal consciousness. And Thoth said, "Forth we formed after our order, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Know ye that these are the numbers of cycles that we descend from unto man, each having here a duty to fulfill, each having here a force to control. Yet are we one with the soul of our cycle, yet are we two seeking a goal. Far beyond man's conceptions, infinity extends into a greater than all. Then there in time that is yet not a time, we shall all become one with a greater than all. Time and space are moving in circles. Know ye their law, and yet too shall be free. Aye, free shall ye be to move through the cycles, past the guardians that dwell at the door. Then to me spoke he of 9, saying, Eons and eons have I existed, knowing not life and tasting not death. For now ye, O man, that far in the future life and death shall be one with the all. Each so perfected by balancing the other that neither exists in the oneness of all. In men of this cycle, the life force is rampant, but life in its growth becomes one with the all. Thoth is talking about becoming an ascended master and experiencing life from a higher dimension. Time is a construct of the third dimension, is only an illusion. Time does not exist. Clocks exist. In Albert Einstein's theory of relativity, there are two types of time: dilation and special relativity. Clocks that are moving with respect to, according to, a stationary observer's clock runs slower. For example, if a person A moves faster than person B, person A will experience time at a slower rate. And a clock he is carrying will tick slower than the clock person B is carrying. The arrow of time is an illusion if you lived in the fourth dimension. You would be able to see that past, future, and present are all at once. That's why some of us have concurrent incarnations, for example. Does that make sense? Shall I continue? Is there any other question? Is there any questions? Because I'm just reading and not really looking up. Sorry. Okay. All right, cool. Let's continue. All right. And Thoth said, I manifest in this your cycle, but ye am I here in your future of time. Yet to me time exists not, for in my world time exists not. For formless are we, life have we, not but, yet have existence, fuller and greater and freer than thee. Man is a flame bound to a mountain, but we in our cycle shall ever be free. Know ye, O man, that when we yet have progressed into the cycle of that lengthen above, life itself will pass to the darkness, and only the essence of soul shall remain. Then to me spoke the Lord of the 8, saying, all that ye know is but part of little. Not as yet have ye touched on the great. Far out in space where light being supremes, came I in the light, formed was I also, but not as ye are. It's incredible. So this is a soul consciousness that has never experienced the human experience. Formed was I also, but not as ye are. That's what it means. Body of light was my formless form, death. Know I not life, and know I'm not death, yet masters am I of all that exists. Seek ye to find the path through the barriers, travel the road that leads to the light. Spoke again to me the 9, saying, seek ye to find the path to beyond. Not impossible is it to grow to a consciousness above. We're all capable. We are all capable of doing this. In fact, that's the point. Not impossible is it to grow to a consciousness above. For when two have become one, and one has become the all, know ye the barrier has lifted, and ye are made free of the road. Grow thou from form to the formless, free may thou be of the road. Thus through ages I listen, learning the way to the all. Now lift I my thought to the all thing. List ye and hear when it calls, O light, all pervading. One with all, and all with one. Flow thou to me through the channel. Enter thou so that I may be free. Make me one with the all soul, shining from the blackness of night. It's saying basically, make me connected to God. Let me be joined. That's a true religion. If you're gonna call anything, in other words, that's a true philosophy of truth. Instead of the bullshit of much of these philosophies that we've been shown, especially, no offense, the Old Testament. And some others, like the Torah, for example. I'm sorry. There's some shit that needs to just... 2,000 years, my friends. 2,000 years when this book, the Emerald Tablets, was available. 2,000 years. And this was never handed to us as a people. Makes you wonder what the fuck they were thinking. And does it really make you wonder what the fuck they were thinking? I don't think so. For when two have become one and one has become the all, know ye the barrier has lifted, and ye are made free of the road. Grow thou from form to the formless, free may thou be of the road. Thus through ages I listened, learning the way to the all. Now lift I my thoughts to the all thing. List ye and hear when it calls, O light, all pervading. I had to read it. Free let me be of all space-time, free from the veil of the night. I, a child of light, command, free from the darkness to be. Formless am I to the light soul, formless yet shining with light. Know I the bounds of the darkness must chatter and fall before light. Now give I this wisdom, free ye be, O man, living in light and in brightness. Turn not they face from the light. Thou, soul, dwells in realms of brightness. Ye are a child of the light. Ye are a child of the light. But remember the rhetoric. We are all born in sin. Can you imagine that philosophy to a newborn child, to a baby, to a toddler, to a child, and you think you have trauma? You sure do, for many incarnations. That's brainwashing on a soul level. Turn thy thoughts inward and outward. Find thou the light soul within. Know that thou art the master. All else is brought from within. Grow thou to realm and of brightness. Hold thou thought on the light. Know thou art one with the cosmos, a flame and a child of the light. Within, within, within. What were the Orthodox teaching us? That we had no intelligence enough to actually go within, that God was in a church, a temple, that someone else, a priest, a rabbi, whatever, they knew God. We did not. And yet to come to God, we have to go within. Isn't that what Buddha taught us? He had to go within. It's interesting. Know to thee give I warning. Let not the thought turn away. Know that the brightness flows through thy body, for ye turn not to the dark brothers that come from brothers of black. Brothers of black. What do you think that means? I won't say it because I want to continue. Brothers of black. Now, who wears black? Just scan your brain for a minute. Who wears black? To keep us in ignorance. But keep thine eyes ever lifted, thy soul in tune with the light. Take ye this wisdom and heed it. List to my voice and obey. Follow the pathway to brightness, and thou shalt be one with the way. Does this sound negative in any way whatsoever to you at all? Has anything I read say anything that is evil or promises weird ass shit or feeds your ego or tells you you're chosen or tells you that you are filled with sin? Does it say anything that would make you feel you're going down the dark path of ignorance. Is there anything I've read that says that? Left alone, humanity is bound by its natural form and understanding, but Thoth is the supreme and ultimate light from which emanates ultimate existence, through which he and even men may find true consciousness. The problem with the Emerald Tablet, it has gone through many dark hands, which made many of us turn away from it because we would associate this knowledge with, maybe not you, maybe you've never even heard of this, but I know for me personally, when I knew Aleister Crowley has his hands on the Thoth tarot deck. So I associated Thoth, this is me being very young, with Aleister Crowley. Not a good match. And then when I started digging into the truth, I realized, no, Thoth was the Atlantean, the one of the light. And it was being manipulated by people of the dark. Aleister Crowley is very dark. Just look at any documentary on it. He's not a good person. Any questions or comments? I just came in. What if you have been a Christian your whole life? I'm open to truth. I've been a Christian my whole life. I was a nun in the 1600s in Italy as a nun in a convent. So I'd rank you. So if I can break through this shit, you can break through it too. Because a lot of this dogma that we've had is from many of our incarnations as Christians, as Catholics. We've had the Huguenot Wars. We had the War of the Roses. We've had battles over these religions for centuries. And it's only been 2,000 years of it. And look at it. Look at the fucking shit show. Was there any of it? And then the essayed. Of all the religions have done it, by the way, all of them, unfortunately. Is that of the light? Because if you listen to David Icke on the process of to rip someone's root chakra apart through those kinds of actions, it's pretty decimating. And so if you've had that happen to you in the last 2,000 years of your incarnation, as an altar boy or as a child or as a little girl, whatever, that shit will fuck you up in the next incarnation. There's no doubt. So the truth is you can love Yeshua as I do. You can love Mary Magdalene as in a truthful way to love, not in some dogmatic, fear-filled, oh my God, no, this will destroy my path. This is the only truth. No, fuck that. No, the truth is that these two human beings sacrificed themselves for us, and then it was bastardized 500 years later. Let's be honest. Let's read the right books. And it's not denied. The Dead Sea Scrolls blew that door open, came out of the darkness of a cave, hidden by the Essenes because they were so fear-filled, hiding real knowledge because they knew it was being destroyed. Hunted down. Knowledge hunted down. Hidden in caves. Are you kidding? People don't hide shit if they think they're in a good place. There's nothing to hide. You hide your gold in a safe that's white, fireproof, Andromeda, and you hide shit when you're afraid it's going to be destroyed or stolen, to destroy. So whenever you feel as if, well, why did that come out now? Because it was hidden. Why? Because it would have been destroyed. I'm going to jump to something else because that's what I do. And the key of life and death, which I think we should go right into, and I'm going to read some of it. Again, this is from the Emerald Tablet by Billy Carson. And that's the book I would actually recommend. Besides probably getting the book that was written originally and translated by Dr. Doriel, D-O-R, like real, like being real, D-O, real, Doriel. He was a French translator. He was the first one, but the way he breaks it down is a little, or the way the publishers, not him, the way the publishers said, so try to find a version that's good. Frankly, if I were you, I'd get a couple of versions, honestly, of it. The Key of Life and Death, chapter 15. And Thoth said, list ye, O man, hear ye the wisdom. Hear ye the word that shall fill thee with life. Hear ye the word that shall banish the darkness. Hear ye the voice that shall banish the night. Mystery and wisdom have I brought to my children. Knowledge and power descended from old. Know ye not that all shall be opened when ye shall find the oneness of all? One shall ye be with the masters of mystery, conquerors of death and masters of life. Ye shall learn of the flowers of Amenti, the blossom of life that shines in the halls. In spirit shall ye reach the halls of Amenti. He's talking about the flower of life, which is a very powerful geometric. Do some research on the flower of life. And bring back the wisdom that liveth in light. Know ye the gateway to power is secret. Know ye the gateway to life is through death. Aye, through death, but not yet as you know death, but a death that is life and is fire and light. What does it mean? It means that the annihilation of what your belief system that had kept you looped in incarnations. In the cycle of going in and in and in. Yes, Dorale. But I'm telling you to buy the one with Billy Carson. Like I'm giving you like homework. I'm telling you what to buy best. Buy his version. The Doriel is the original translation, which Billy Carson has. But the way Billy Carson researches shit is fucking phenomenal and foolproof. And Doriel was looking at this and translating it, a Frenchman, from a place of still, you got to understand, this is the 1920s, of dogma influenced by the 19th century archaeologists, Egyptologists, and anthropologists, and it was riddled with racism and the dogma of their religions, meaning Catholicism or Huguenot Protestant. Do you understand what I'm saying? So you want to have a new, fresh look, okay? So Jojo, listen to me when I say get this one first. Okay, Billy Carson's Emerald Tablets. Let's understand why I'm saying that, okay? Or else you're not going to get all the magic and the fact that he weaves in the Krishna, the Bhagavad Gita, the theories of relativity. All of that shit would have not have been. If you want the pure translation without a clue in hell, then you're going to get Doriel. Doriel is just, I'm going to put it in my library. I have the original, good, okay, 1920s, got it. But if I want to really understand this, I'm going to get Billy Carson's. And I'm not promoting Billy Carson. I don't know Billy Carson. I don't give a shit. I didn't like him 10 years ago. Now I feel like he's going through a massive evolution through his connection with his twin ray. So I'm not promoting it for any reason. I'm just telling you what I know. Okay, and I've been buying esoteric books like that since I was like 14. So I've been through that. This is not my first rodeo in esoteric books. So I'm giving you the best advice I can give you. I'm giving you the kind of advice I would give my own son or daughter. Ye I shall learn of the flowers of Amenti, the blossoms of life that shines in the halls. In spirit shall ye reach the halls of Amenti and bring back the wisdom that liveth in light. Know ye the gateway to power is secret. Know ye the gateway to life is through death. Aye, through death, but not death as you know it, but a death that is life and is fire in the light. Desireth thou to know the deep hidden secrets? Look in thy heart where the knowledge is bound. Know that in thee the secret is hidden, the source of all life and the source of all death. Yeah, no kidding. Did you hear that? Know that in thee the secret is hidden. In you. In you. And to declutter the monkey mind's entanglement that has stopped you from understanding the secret to life, right? In other words, true immortality, right? You're going to have to do some, mining, diamond mining. What does that mean? It means you got to blow up some stuff inside of you, like literally blow your mind, blow your own mind, and go, oh my God, I'm excavating all this shit, and I have to go through a tunnel of garbage until the gold or the diamond of who I am I can see it's revealed. And so that doesn't just come from this incarnation. This comes from centuries of incarnations. It's not your mother or father wound in this incarnation. It's your own wounding from all kinds of ways of how you were brought up, what your life entailed, and how you passed away, how you dropped your body, right? And all of these have left their mark. And so it's a lot to go through, you know what I mean? I, through death. Okay, so let me continue. List ye, O man, while I tell the secret. Reveal unto thee the secret of all. Deep in earth's heart lies the flower, the source of the spirit that binds all in its form. Or know ye that the earth is living in body as thou art alive in thine own formed form. Formed form. What does that mean? Let me repeat it. Listen to this. The source of the spirit that binds all in its form. Or know ye that the earth is living in body as thou art living in thy own formed form. It means that planet Earth, you may not know it, but planet Earth is a definite, it's funny, we mentioned this yesterday, is a definite soul, a feminine soul. When we call her Gaia, Pachamama, we're not kidding. We literally mean, you might think, well, that's a gigantic form, a gigantic life form. It is. And when people say Pachamama is angry or Pachamama is weeping, Gaia is weeping, planet Earth is weeping, it is a soul. It's not, you're going to have to wrap your head around that, because you're thinking, you think that all forms are within the realms of you being like an elephant and a lion and a bird and a tree and a rooster, whatever. But it's much more than that. The flower of life is as thine own place of spirit, and streams through the earth as thine flows through thy form, giving of life to the earth and its children, renewing the spirit from form unto form. This is the spirit that is form of thy body, shaping and molding into its form. Know ye, O man, that thy form is dual, balanced in polarity while formed in its form. Know that when fast on thee death approaches, it is only because thy balance is shaken. It is only because one pole has been lost. Did you hear that? Do you know what he has below this? This is why I want you to buy this book. Because below that is the flower of life with the yin and yang symbol right on top of the flower of life. Did you hear what he said? Know ye, O man, that thy form is dual, balanced in polarity while formed in its form. Know that when fast on thee death approaches, it is only because thy balance is shaken. It is only because one pole has been lost. When I do hypnotherapy, when I do my own meditations, when I do Akashic readings for people, I can tell you there are sentient beings that are humanoid that live 1,000, 2,000 years. This is not an Old Testament thing. Has nothing to do with that. It's a reality. And they stay young. You hit your mark at the best. In fact, there's a place, and I forgot what it's called. Damn it, I forgot the name of this place that's on the border of Pakistan. There are people right now that are 60 years old, and they look like they're 20 years old. There are people that are 75 years old, still having babies, women and men, and they look like they're in their 40s. It is a collective agreement that we go through menopause as women, that we actually get old and age. And this is a true thing, because if you look at people who were in their 50s, in the 1950s, they look like our 75-year-old people. And I don't mean good, I mean bad. So you know what I'm saying isn't bullshit. And you know what this book is saying is, this is not lying. It is because we have an imbalance in our polarity. And then we crash and burn. But our divinity as souls, the way we manifest as souls, we could take this vessel called a Homo sapien, and live 1,000 years and look like we're 30 until we decide, you know what, I'm done here. I'm going to the next planet. Hey, you want to come with me? Yeah, let's go. It's that simple. It's that simple. And somewhere along the way, something stopped working. We used to look at the sun and know everything we need. We look at the moon, the stars, we were aligned with it. What did people look like before Atlantis fell? When Lemuria was stars, we were aligned with it. What did people look like before Atlantis fell? When Lemuria was thriving? Before even then? How long did they live? We have no written records, but do we have the answers within ourselves? I think we do. The flower of life is a geometric shape that is comprised of numerous overlapping and evenly spaced circles. The circles are arranged in a flower-like pattern with six-fold symmetry. Throughout the ages, philosophers, architects, and artists have known of the perfect form, proportions, and harmony of the flower of life. Only recently is quantum physics. Can you imagine? You guys are all, oh my God, science, science, applauding science. Only recently is quantum physics recognizing that the flower life is a depiction of the source field, which simultaneously connects every particle and allows consciousness to collapse waves into matter. I'm going to tell you something that's very personal, but I'm going to tell it to you. I woke up one morning. My twin was waking me up from the veils, and he woke me up with the flower life pulsing on my third eye. DMT was being activated to a level that I hadn't experienced since ayahuasca. We have it all within these temporary bodies, and they're temporary in the age of disease because of the monkey mind, really. It's the monkey mind. The monkey mind controlled by the 1% through nefarious means. They've been very successful. There's no denying that. This is beautiful, the sentience of it all, and the need for balance of masculine, feminine, dark, and light. Absolutely. To me, it's like aho. It's an aho moment, like God bless. Yes. And Thoth said, know that the secret of life in a mentee is the secret of restoring the balances of poles. All that exists has form and is living because of the spirit of life in its poles. So you can't look at the yin and yang ever again with the same eyes. I mean, now you're realizing, holy shit, I really got to get serious. Oh, I'm just so feminine. I've all my incarnations, I've just been a woman, as if that's the act of femininity. I've only been a man. I can't imagine ever giving birth. Like, no, I was never a woman. I've always been a warrior. That is a complete, destructive, toxic thought form that will keep you from the balance of the poles, of the yin and yang, within the flower of life. You see what I'm saying? And once you understand these kinds of understandings, then you will never be in your ego about your ego feeding you bullshit. Ever again. You'll be like, yeah, I don't have time. I'm not here to kiss my ego's ass. I'm here to actually fucking ascend. What is ascension? It's what I'm reading. See ye not that in earth's heart is the balance of all things that exist, have being on its face. Let me read it again. See ye not that in earth's heart is the balance of all things that exist and have being on its face. It's funny how we can see the man on the moon, its face, but we can't see the beautiful face of this feminine energy called Earth. It's funny how we can see the man on the moon, its face, but we can't see the beautiful face of this feminine energy called Earth. The source of thy spirit is drawn from earth's heart. For in thy form thou art one with the earth. When thou hast learned to hold thine own balance, then shalt thou draw on the balance of earth. That means as long as we allow people oil drilling in the ocean and fractal and, doing all kinds of crap, mining explosions in the ocean and testing this and that, and just, let's have more and more nuclear weapons. And yeah, the earth will be a reflection of us, of our dis-ease. That's why this can't continue. That's why the infrastructure can't continue. It's making us sick. I mean, sick. Okay? And when you understand that, you become a little more urgent on saying, yeah, let me go do my pranayama and my meditation, all that. Why? Because then, why? Because you can't prepare as a spiritual shaman to shift it until you know your power. As you've excavated all the dust and the mire and the muck and all that shit, it all needs to be fucking pulled out and thrown out. And then the diamond, the gold of who you are, can now co-create with us, many of us who are doing this work on the daily, to shift into the new earth. She can't survive. We can't survive either. Exist then shall thou while earth is existing, changing in form only when earth too shall change, tasting not of death but one with this planet, holding thy form till all pass away. List ye, O man, whilst I give the secrets, so that ye too shall taste not of change. 1 hour each day shalt thou lie, with thy head pointed to the place of the positive pole, north. 1 hour each day shall thy head be pointed to the place of the negative pole south, whilst thy head is placed to the northward. Hold thy consciousness from the chest to the head. And when thy head is placed southward, hold thy thought from chest to the feet. Hold thy in place once in each 7, and thy place will retain the whole of its strength. Aye, if thou be old, thy body will freshen, and thy strengthening will become as youth's. It's actually giving you directions on yoga poses and to stay 1 hour in these poses per day. In the passages above, Thoth is talking about aligning one's chakras within the body and harnessing the energy from the Earth's north and south poles. This is very similar to how we use batteries in today's world. To learn how batteries work, check out, and he gives a link. And Thoth said, this is the secret known to the masters by which they hold off the fingers of death. Neglect not to follow the path I have shown, for when thou hast passed beyond years, to 100 to neglect, it will mean the coming of death. Hear ye my words and follow the pathway. Keep thou thy balance and live on in life. Hear ye, O men, and list to my voice. List to the wisdom that gives thee of death. When at the end of thy work appointed, thou may desire to pass from this life, pass to the plane where the sons of the mornings live and have being as children of light. Pass without pain and pass without sorrow into the plane where eternal is light. First lie at rest with thy head in the eastward. Fold thy hands at the south source of my life, solar plexus. Do you understand why I want you to get this version and not some other versions? For to begin with. Place thou thy consciousness in the life seat. Whirl it and divide to north and to south. This is older than fucking the Vedas that taught us the chakras. The chakras were taught by Thoth the Atlantean and Atlanteans. And that came beyond the beyond. They brought it back from other realms and other planets. Do you understand why chakras are important? Do you understand why Dr. Joe Dispenza doesn't call them chakras, but what was he called? Life force or life wheels or something like that? Because he knows how ridiculous people are with their fucking dogma. Oh, chakras, oh my God, it's Hindu, oh God. And they run from truth. So he has to call them wheels of energy. I think he calls them energies of wheels, something like that. And I'm like, and I know exactly why he's doing that. He's not stupid. Because his job is to get people to understand. By the way, did you know, this is something Water Bear told me, did you know that they were going to have a retreat with Dr. Joe Dispenza in France? And he was prevented to do so? You think about why. Why would they prevent Dr. Joe Dispenza from doing a 7-day retreat in France? What do you think that is? Think about that. Why? Well, who's going? Well, people with money. What kind of people with money, what would they do with that new knowledge and actually physical, somatic, spiritual experience? Well, they would start talking and influence other people. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of weird shit happening. A lot. Why would anybody think that Dr. Joe Dispenza's teaching are of the darkness? Why would it ever? And Dr. Joe calls them energy centers. I think you're right. No, that's exactly it, Andromeda. You're right. Thank you. Why? Think about why. How dangerous is this knowledge? Fucking very dangerous, apparently. Very. Because see, once a person goes experiencing ayahuasca, DMT openings through pranayama and meditation, bufo, I don't give a shit. Whatever way people do it, right? Because you can actually do this opening through what he does, which is through massive meditation and pranayama, where the DMT explodes and boom, truth starts pouring in. And they are proving it scientifically. Do you guys know that? That he puts brain electrodes on every person involved in his retreats so that they can scan the brain to see where it's going, where he calls when he can see them about to pop. He's working with neurologists all over the world. Do you realize that when people experience that shit, they can't go back? You can't go back. When you see shit on a somatic, spiritual, mental level, your mental dogma is totally shattered into a million prismatic pieces, and you see the light of a mentee, you're not coming back the same. You're going to have what they call a cultural depression when you come back and you look at the honks, horn, the cars honk horn, blinking, and the red and light of the streets, stop here, stop signs, and the consumption of bullshit, and people driving around with their Rolls Royces or Ferraris looking very proud of themselves, and people in yachts, and people talking about Birkin bags, and you can't come back to that shit. You can't. It changes you in ways that are it changes you it actually puts you on the right path immediately. And people go through massive depression and they don't survive it. And you know what I'm talking about. Because they feel hopeless. Because they're surrounded by muggles. They're surrounded by fucking Ottomans like zombies. Place thy consciousness in the life seat, whirl it, and divide to north and to south. Send thou the one out towards the northward. Send thou the other out to the south. Relax thou their hold upon thy beings. Forth from thy form will thy silver spark fly, upward and onward to the sun of the morning, blending with light at one with its source. There it shall flame till desire shall be created. Do you hear that? There it shall form till desire shall be created, then shall return to a place and a form. That's how we were created, by desire. There are deviant desires and there are desires of light. The only thing your only concern in this incarnation is make sure that your desires of the light, and it will benefit everyone that is impacted by your presence and by what you co-create with the universe. Know ye, O man, that thus pass the great souls, changing at will from life unto life. Thus ever passes the avatar, willing his death as he wills his own life. Meaning being born and dropping the bodies. Thoth has made another direct reference to reincarnation and transferring one's consciousness into new avatars. This ability to transcend death and incarnate at will is reserved for the ascended masters that have conquered the cycles of time. And that's why there are some souls that can actually become walk-ins. They're like, don't diaper me. Don't wipe my ass. I don't want to be bottled. I don't want to fucking be a teenager. Just give me a body of a sentient soul being that does not want to be there anymore. They want to leave, and I will take over until set time. That's why walk-ins are real. And those are ascended masters that come in. And one of the most famous walk-ins ever in history is Rampa Tilapsang. And Rampa Tilapsang was a British man who did not want to do this shit anymore. I mean, he changed his name, by the way. His name was not Rampa Tilapsang. I forgot what his name was. But Rampa was a Tibetan monk that wanted the body and took it. And his wife, there's a letter, the document, she said, yeah, that's not my husband. Like, I love him, don't get me wrong, but we're not like husband and wife anymore. Like, whoever this is, yeah, that's not my husband. That's not the husband I was married to for like 20 plus years. And he wrote the most incredible books. The Third Eye, The Saffron Robe. There's so many titles. I've read them all when I was, from the time I was 14 years old to the time I was like 15, 16, I read all his books. Again and again. My favorite was The Third Eye by Rampa Tilapsang. Favorite book, because it talks about him being very young, having his third eye open, and portals open up in the Himalayas that look like a jungle with heat, and just suddenly the portals of snow are there, and then suddenly they're walking into a jungle with fruit and this and that, and I was like, holy shit, like Shambhala in the middle of the Himalayas. But you have to be a certain frequency to find it, and then to see it, and then to experience it. And I understood that. The concept of reality for many of you has always been a question, because innately you always knew that what you were being told was clearly wrong. Any questions or comments? Isn't this the most beautiful, beautiful thing? Knowledge is power, and the people in power are scared of the truth. No, actually, they're not scared of the truth, my love. They know the truth, and they've used it against us for 2,000 years. So that's not completely correct. They're not scared of the truth. They actually know the truth and they've used it against us for a solid 2,000 years. Probably longer, but I will definitely say 2,000 years. Don't ever think they're afraid of the truth. They're afraid of us knowing the truth. They're afraid of us wielding the truth for good and for light. They're afraid of us finally not being racist. They're afraid of us finally realizing that my brother has got black skin and yellow skin and red skin and blue skin and white skin. Okay? And really, really believing that with my entire being. And not having fucking lives that go on and on about what's biracial and who wears braids and just bullshit like that that keeps people cluttered into the caves of ignorance. They love that shit. Like that, it keeps people cluttered into the caves of ignorance. They love that shit. They're afraid of. Okay? And Thoth said, list ye, O man, and drink of my wisdom. Learn ye the secret that is master of time. Learn ye how those ye call masters are able to remember the lives of the past. Great is the secret, yet easy to master, given to thee the mastery of time. When upon thee death fast approaches, fear not, but know ye are masters of death. No kidding. That's actually what I said to my mother and my twin. We're fucking masters. We've done this so many times, it's ridiculous. We know how to do this. There's nothing to fear. Nothing to fear at all. It's not your first time doing this. Dropping the body. Relax thy body, resist not with tension, place in thy heart the flame of thy soul. Swiftly then sweep it to the seat of the triangle. Hold for a moment and move to the goal. This thy goal is the place between thy eyebrows, the place where the memory of life must hold sway. Hold thou thy flame here in thy brain seat, until the fingers of death grasp thy soul. Then as thou pass through the state of transition, surely the memories of life shall pass too. Then shalt the past be one with the present. Then shall be the memory of all be retained. Free shall thou be from all retrogression. The things of the past shall live today. Thoth has revealed the method used to consciously incarnate. The pineal gland is the spiritual antenna that is the link between the transition from life to life. There's a famous verse in the Bible that references this. Genesis 32:30. So Jacob called the place Peniel, saying, it is because I saw God face to face, and yet my life was spared. This is a profound statement. The only way out is in. We must take a journey to inner space. Only there will we find salvation. I'm not going to fully agree with that, because it gives the impression that we are going to go from one life to another on this planet. And I would say to you that you do not have to reincarnate to that sense of space and swiftness. That for many of us, there's going to be in fact, for many of us did not reincarnate for 400, 500, 600 years. Some of us kept looping into it again and again for various purposes that are going to become apparent to you as you get more and more enlightened by your own self-realizations. But what I will say is many of us will actually go through the gardens and the gardens of other, it's like all holy, it's not even purgatory. It's funny how they've used all kinds of terms to scare the shit out of us. It's not a purgatory, it's a meeting place. Rumi talks about it. He says, there's a place between good and evil. I will meet you there. That place. And there you meet with your most beloveds. And some of you can actually build an entire life in that scape of consciousness. And then upon having what you needed for healing, for respite, for whatever, at that point with your most beloveds, meaning your most beloved and your soul group, some of them, if not all of them, you decide where you will next incarnate, on this planet or another planet, another dimension. And the frequency match of what your intentions are will be a match to what you want to experience. It's that simple. Alarm. There you go. Confirmation. Okay, so we're going to continue with Atlantis a little bit. Any questions or comments? Can see the light, not afraid. Toward the any questions or comments? Okay, beautiful. I'm going to read a little bit of Atlantis, and then I'll pause, and then we can do, because again, I want to do an oracle reading, and then I got to get on with my life, obviously. But it's this is supplemental tablet 14. It's called Atlantis, chapter 16. And Thoth said, "List ye, O man, to the deep hidden wisdom, lost to the world since the time of the dwellers, lost and forgotten by man of this age. Know ye this earth is but a portal, guarded by powers unknown to man. Yet the dark lords hide the entrance." Did you hear that? The dark lords hide the entrance that leads to the heaven-born land. Know ye the way to the sphere of Arulu is guarded by barriers only open to light-born man. Upon earth I am the holder of the keys to the gates of the sacred land. Command I by powers beyond me to leave the keys to the world of man. Before I depart, I give you ye the secrets of how you may raise from the bondage of darkness, cast off the fetters of flesh that have bound ye, rise from the darkness into the light. Know ye the soul must be cleansed of its darkness. Here ye may enter the portals of light. Thus I establish among ye the mysteries, so that the secrets may always be found. Aye, though man may fall into darkness, always the light will shine as a guide. Hidden in darkness, veiled in symbols, always the way to the portals will be found. Man in the future will deny the mysteries, but always the way the seeker will find. Did you hear that? Man in the future will deny the mysteries, but always the way the seeker will find. Now I command ye to maintain my secrets, giving only to those yet have tested, so that the pure may not be corrupted, so that the power of truth may prevail. Any questions or comments on that? It's pretty amazing. Pretty deep. List ye now to the unveiling of mystery. List to the symbols of mystery I give. Make of it a religion, for only thus will its essence remain. Regions there are two between. This life and the great one travel by the souls who depart from this earth. Duat, the home of the powers of illusion. Sehek, Hestep, the house of the gods. Osiris, the symbol of the guard of the portal, who turns back the souls of unworthy men. Beyond lies the sphere of the heaven-born powers. Arulu, the land where the great ones have passed. So, if you there's a couple things about the shadows. If you deny who you've been in past lives, if you deny the sense that you've done some fucked up shit in past lives, you're actually preventing yourself from coming into your own light. The main thing you have to ask yourself is, am I who I was then? I don't care if you find out, I'm giving you a stupid example, that you were Napoleon or the guy with a little mustache or whatever, right? The point is that who you are? Were you Genghis Khan? Okay. Are you Genghis Khan today? Hell no. Okay, good. Move on. But you have to own it. Oh my God, I did this. I forgive myself. I would never do this again, right? Well, there are people like Bibi, right? Netanyahu doing this today as we speak. All right? And let's be real. Because if you want to keep lying about Geno and human rights infringement while the Hague, all that, if you're going to keep playing games politically, then you're on the wrong fucking live. Period. Wrong live. Because this journey is about truth. Radical, honest, painful truth about yourself and about the system today. Truth. And once you embrace truth, you are walking in your light. And there's no problems. None. Except one thing. Self-worth, self-love. In your soul's light. Truth is truth, and that's it. And you are not caught up by the dogma, rhetoric of politicians and supposed, PhDs that tell you it's so complicated that you're not smart enough to know between right and wrong. You do. Fucking 3-year-olds know the difference. They know that if someone's abusing a puppy, it's fucking wrong. End of story. Oh, well, it's very complicated. We're doing tests on medicine. A baby will cry at the sight of such things. Because they're closest to the all. There's no complication. Wrong is right is right. You don't need a PhD to know that. And when a person doesn't know that, you have to ask themselves, how were they raised and who raised them? There, when my work among men has been finished, will I join the great ones of my ancient home. 7 are the mansions of the house of the mighty. 3 guards the portal of each house from the darkness. 15 the ways that lead to Duat. 12 are the house of the lords of illusion, facing 4 ways, each of them different. 42 are the great powers, judging the dead who seek for the portal. 4 are the sons of Horus. 2 are the guards of east and west of Isis, the mother who pleads for her children, queen of the moon reflecting the sun. Ba is the essence living forever. Ka is the shadow that man knows as life. Ba cometh not until Ka is incarnate. There are mysteries to preserve through all ages. Keys are they of life and death. Hear ye now the mystery of mysteries. Learn the circles beginningless and endless, the form of he who is one and all. Listen and hear it. Go forth and apply it. Thus will ye travel the way that I go. Mystery in mystery, yet clear to the light born. The secret of all I now will reveal. I will declare a secret to the initiated, but let the door be wholly shut against the profane. Did you hear that? Kindness, loyalty, peace, and grace. How did I win? Okay, somebody block idiots, please. I don't have really patience for idiots on my live. I'm sorry. If you can't have a brain, then maybe you should go look at the dancing girls, okay? Bouncing up and down. That should make you have fun. I don't have time. Did you hear what he said? I will declare a secret to the initiated, but let the door be fully shut against the profane. Who are the profane? Well, they're on your TV screen being interviewed pretty much every day and making speeches. I think you know who the profane are. Does that make sense? No. All of you, I just blocked someone that had nothing to do with any of you that are on with me. Just so you know, don't get it twisted. There was one idiot that asked a stupid question, and I just blocked them myself. None of you are, everything you're saying is perfect. Don't get me wrong. It was one person. You may not have noticed it, but maybe you're closing your eyes while I read this, and that's great. All right. 3 is the mystery. Come from the great one. Hear and light on the thee will dawn. In the primeval dwell 3 unities. Other than these, none can exist. These are the equilibrium source of creation. One God, one truth, one point of freedom. Thee come forth from the 3 of the balance, all life, all good, all power. 3 are the qualities of God in his light home. Infinite power, infinite wisdom, infinite love. 3 are the powers given to the masters to transmute evil, assist good, use discrimination. 3 are the things inevitable for God to perform, manifest power, wisdom, and love. 3 are the power creating all things, divine love possessed of perfect knowledge, divine wisdom knowing all possible means, divine power possessed by the joint will of divine love and wisdom. 3 are the circles of existence, the circle of life where dwells nothing but God, and only God can traverse it, the circle of chaos where all things by nature arise from death. Did you hear that? And only God can traverse it, the circle of chaos where all things by nature arise from death. The circle of awareness where all things spring from life. All things emanate are of 3 states of existence, chaos or death, liberty and humanity, and felicity of heaven. 3 necessities control all things, beginning in the great deep, the circle of chaos, plenitude in heaven. 3 are the path of the soul, man, liberty, life. 3 are the hindrance, lack of endeavors to obtain knowledge, non-attachment to God, attachment to evil. Do you know there's a statue of Baphomet somewhere in Pennsylvania? I think I've got the right state. I think it's Pennsylvania. anything that is racist, anti-humanity, anti-abundance, anti the right of all to thrive is an attachment to evil. Period and stop. In man, the three are manifest. Three are the kings of power within. Three are the chambers of the mysteries. Found ye not found in the body of man. Hear ye now of the he who is liberated, freed from the bondage of life into light. Knowing the source of all worlds shall be open. Aye, even the gates of Arulu shall be barred. Yet heed, O man, who would enter heaven. Yet ye be not worthy. Better it be to fall into the fire. Not ye be celestials pass through the purest flame. At every revolution of the heavens they bathe in the fountain of light. It makes sense, doesn't it? One day I'll share with you some of the things my twin had to go through to actually get his some scars that had stuck to him from centuries purified. Because the false ego, the alpha male or alpha female, matriarch, patriarch, a toxic belief system held on for pure survival, can't cross out of the bondage of life into light unless those things are just completely cleansed. Does that make sense? It's not a frequency match. It's like a hot air balloon that's been held down by weights. And those weights are some scars. And the hot air balloon can't lift off because it's weighed down. List ye, O man, to this mystery long in the past before ye were man born. I dwelled in the ancient Atlantis. There in the temple I drank of the wisdom poured as fountain of light from the dweller. Give the key to ascend to the presence of light in the great world. Stood I before the Holy One, enthroned in the flower of fire. Veiled was he by the lightnings of darkness. Else my soul by the glory have been shattered. Listen to this again, because it makes sense. It's actually what happened with Krishna and Arjuna in the battle of Kurukshetra. Stood I before the Holy One, enthroned in the flower of fire. Veiled was he by the lightnings of darkness, else my soul by the glory had been shattered. Yeah. Even on that high level of dimensional, right? Let's say he was in 670 in Atlantis. Even then, he could not see the full visage of the all, of the one, aka God, in all its glory, or else it would have destroyed him. Not because it is there to harm, but because it is so intense. It makes absolute sense. And so there's flashes of the presence of the all. It's very similar to the Kundalini awakening. The Kundalini awakening is spoon-fed. It's not one big boom. It's an and the awakening, a spoon-fed awakening, is a big boom for us. Don't get me wrong, but in multiple levels of booms through the Kundalini awakening. If you get a full Kundalini awakening, if you force the issue, you can lose your fucking mind. That's why you don't listen to people who go, oh, I'm fully Kundalini awake. Okay, well then why aren't you levitating? Because you should be so fucking powerful that the ego is no longer clashing against your ability to, and your soul's power to fucking manifest at will a rocking chair, at will a glass of wine, at will water, at will. It is one of many things that go into our ascension. One of many. Forth from the feet of his throne like the diamond, rolled forth 4 rivers of flame from his footstool, rolled through the channels of clouds to the man world. Filled was the hall with spirits of heaven. Wonders of wonders was the starry palace. Above the sky like a rainbow of fire and sunlight were formed the spirits, sang they the glories of the Holy One. Then from the midst of the fire came a voice, behold the glory of the first cause. I beheld that light high above all darkness, reflected in my own being. I attained as if were to the God of all gods, the Sun Spirit, the sovereign of the sun spheres. There is one, even the first, who hath no beginnings, who hath no end, who have made all things, who govern all, who is good, who is just, who illumines, who sustains. Does that sound like the Old Testament God to you? Have you ever read the Old Testament? Does that sound like the God that would say, yeah, go ahead and, 86 your son, Jacob, because I said so? No, that's Anunnaki shit. We have been hustled for 2,000 years. It's fucked up, really. It's fucked up. Because had I known this book existed, that it was available, you don't think I would have read that a long time? I mean, I've heard about the Emerald Tablets for years, don't get me wrong. But I remember in my 30s, I didn't know about this book. Did you? I'm talking about like 30 years ago. Did you know about this book? Because if you knew about this book, you would have read this book, and this would have changed everything, every move you made in this incarnation. No. Yeah, me neither. See, the more we know, the less we know. Arrogance has no place in our ascension. I didn't know about this. Now, I've heard about this for the last, say, 15 years. I know my twin read it. But he never mentioned it as, to him, the most important book was the Bhagavad Gita. Then from the throne there poured a great radiance, surrounded and lifting my soul to its power. Swiftly I moved through the spaces of heaven. Shown was I the mystery of mysteries. Shown the secret heart of the cosmos. Carried was I to the land of Arulu. Stood before the lords in their houses. Opened they the doorway so I might glimpse the primeval chaos. Shuddered my soul to the vision of horror, shrank back my soul from the ocean of darkness. Then saw I the need for the barriers, saw the need for the lords of Arulu. They're the keepers. They keep it at bay. And something has gone wrong in the last 10 years, maybe even 30 years, maybe even 75 years, maybe 300 years. Because in the last 200 years, yes, 200 years, we have seen forced famine and forced genocide with the Irish, with the Jewish people, with the Palestinians, with the people in Rwanda, with the Turks and the Greeks, Armenians, the Native Americans. Holy shit, it just goes on and on. The Africans, African Americans. Wow, what the hell has been happening? I mean, I'm shook. Then I saw the need for the barriers. I saw the need for the lords of Arulu. Shrank back my soul from the ocean of darkness. Wow. Something has been, and we know this for a fact, that many of the 1% have been using dark energies to open the portals to allow these entities to create what they've created for the absolute dissolution of humans. That is for sure. There's no doubt. And I'm throwing out numbers. 300 years ago, 500 years ago, was it 2,000 years ago? I'm asking questions here because I'd like to know. When did these 1% get involved in dark, nefarious deeds, wearing robes and, asking for alms, asking for donations and building their temples and churches and telling us that they knew more about God while they fucking did insane shit, controlling kings and emperors and shahs to do their bidding? I'm really asking questions. Because glimpse of the primeval, listen to this again. Opened they the doorway so I might glimpse the primeval chaos, shuddered my soul to the vision of horror, shrank back my soul from the ocean of darkness. Then I saw the need for the barriers, saw the need for the lords of Arulu. That's insane. Centuries. Only they with their infinite balance could stand in the way of the inpouring chaos. Only they could guard God's creation. Then did I pass around the circle of 8, saw all the souls who had conquered the darkness, saw the splendor of light where they dwelled. Longed I to take my place in their circle, but longed I also for the way I had chosen when I stood in the halls of Amenti and made my choice to the work I would do. What is the work he would do? Well, to try to warn us. Passed I from the halls of Arulu down to the earth space where my body lay. Arose I from the earth where I rested. He had a transcendent. It was like he left his body to see what his mind in that body could not comprehend. It's like a massive split. And he couldn't see that in the human body that he, or whatever he was, by the way. That's just me using that word. That doesn't mean he was human. Passed I from the halls of Aruli down to the earth space where my body lay. Arose I from the earth where I rested. Stood I before the dweller. Gave my pledge to renounce my great right until my work on earth was completed. Until the age of darkness be past. Did you hear that? Gave my pledge to renounce my great right until my work on earth was completed, until the age of darkness be past. Well, and when you listen to some of these people saying we are in the in Kali Yuga, refute it, because you are in the age of Satra Yuga. Is it Satra Yuga? I did a whole guided meditation with Andromeda Flame. It's on the YouTube. Satya Yuga. That's it. Satya Yuga. Don't get into timelines that, Kali Yuga will be another 46,000 years. Yeah, don't get into that shit. That's all psyop shit. Ancient psyop shit. I use the word psyop so that we immediately understand each other. Meaning by design. Nefarious shit. Mind control by design. Satya Yuga is upon us. It is always the darkest before the dawn. The dawn of what? Of our light. Why? Well, is this what you want? You want this for another 2,000 years? You think the planet Earth as its own soul right wants this anymore? You know how you feel about not being here. You think she wants to continue being here with this shit show on her body? I don't think so. List ye, O man, to the words shall I give ye. In them shall ye find the essence of life. Before I returns to the halls of Amenti, taught shall ye be the secrets of secrets, how ye too many may arise to the light. Preserve them and guard them, hide them in symbols, so the profane will laugh and renounce. In every land form ye the mysteries. Did you hear this shit? This is exactly what's been going on. Hide them in symbols so that the profane will laugh and renounce. In every land form ye the mysteries. Make the way hard for the seekers to tread. Thus will the weak and the wavering be rejected. Who are these? Well, there's these people that get to, oh my God, no, back to Jesus. Oh God. You know, the Doreen Virtues of the world. God bless her soul, my friend. I hope she finds her way. And I know she had access to books like this book in particular. She had all the time in her hand to read whatever she needed to read. The weak and the wavering will be rejected. What does that mean? You got to be a fucking shaman, a druid, with some warrior in you, a lion in you. Thus will the secrets be hidden and guarded, held till the time when the wheel shall be turned. Through the dark ages, waiting and watching, my spirit shall remain in the deep hidden land. When one has passed all the trials of the outer, summon ye me by the key that ye hold. Then will I, the initiator, answer, come from the halls of the gods of Amenti. Then will I receive the initiate, give him the words of power. Hark ye, remember these words of warning. Bring not to me one lacking in wisdom, impure in heart, or weak in his purpose. Who's a weak person in their purpose? Afraid to die. Afraid to die. As if this is it. As if what you look in the mirror is it. This is all you will ever be. This is all you've ever been. This is it. That means while you're here, you get a lot of shit done. This is not a vacation, my friend. This planet is for us to do we have to right the wrongs that we've done in our past incarnations in our own ignorance. Fighting for wars we didn't even fucking understand ourselves. We couldn't even read or write our own names. Let's remember this. Okay? Thank you. And we need, and the weak. What is the weak? Well, the weak are the weak are the ones doing what they're doing to this planet. They're weak. Do you think they could do what many of these men that are fighting for their families? You think they could do what we just saw witness with this man, this lion, who threw a stick at a drone because they didn't have the kahunas to go in and take an armless man? What? Took a tank? All of this shit's related, my friend. All of it. Every single thing going on this planet is relating to your own decision on how powerful you will be. Does that make sense? Every single thing you're witnessing, everything that you're asking yourself, thus will the weak, really, think about it. In every land form ye the mysteries, make the way hard for the seeker to tread. Thus will the weak and the wavering be rejected. Thus will the secrets be hidden and guarded, held till the time when the wheel shall be turned. Through the dark ages, waiting and watching, my spirit shall remain in the deep hidden land. When one has passed all the trials of the outer, summon ye by the key that you hold. Then shall I be the initiator. Answer, come from the halls of the gods in Amenti. Then will I receive the initiate, giving him the words of power. Hark ye, remember these words of warning. Bring not to me one lacking in wisdom, impure in heart, or weak in his purpose. Else I will withdraw from ye your power to summon me from the place of my sleeping. Now go ye forth and summon thy brothers, so that I may impart the wisdom to light thy path when my presence is gone. Come to the chambers beneath my temple. Eat not food until 3 days are past. So fasting is also an important aspect of clearing. The last time I had a very good fast, and what I mean by fast, I mean fasting on water, right? Cayenne, a little honey, distilled water. On the 11th day, the trees were shimmering and moving, and it was wild. And I was power walking 2.5 miles every day. And that was the best fast because it was water. And I was blissing out. That's the last time I had a really kick-ass fast. And that would have been in 2014. The fast after that was 16 on juice. It's not the same. 16 days on juice. Nothing close to water fasting. I'm just being honest. And I haven't been able to fast in a while. To be honest, not a real fast. Juicing is not the same, though it's a good training ground. So did you hear what he said? Eat not food until 3 days are past. There I will give thee the essence of wisdom. Did you notice he said fast? What does that mean? That's definitely, if you keep eating, I'm going to just be straight up, and I'm probably going to lose half of you. If you keep eating meat, you want to do this and you want to eat meat? I don't care what what's her name Cloudfoot says about the Pleiadians jumping down about eating beef. That's bullshit. That's a corrupt download. That's not true at all. That's why in ayahuasca they tell you not to eat meat for 2 weeks, because it will corrupt your fucking downloads. Okay? Oh, well, what about the Native Americans? They were probably fasting, my friends, before they went into the sacred sweating temples, huts, and they were probably fasting. That is something that we have throughout our all cultures. We have these certain things that we always have done. It's an undeniable thing. That's why for some of you who need a little bit of sugar, that's why Dr. Brax talked about putting a little bit of honey in like a gallon of water, so that keeps going, and a little bit of salt and cayenne. If you do the Bragg's in Russia, if you want to fast, you can write a letter to the state, and they will send you to a fasting clinic. It's all water. You lift weights a little bit. They take your blood every day to make sure all the toxins are not dangerous. Do you have this in this country for free? It's funny how each little country has its own little best practice. that we could all gather into one pool and go, what's the best practice in France? Well, it's enemas and colonics and massages and consommé, which is bouillon soup. What's the best practice in colonics and massages and consommé, which is bouillon soup. What's the best practice in Switzerland? It's breaking fast with grapes and a lot of cold water plunges. What's the best practice in Russia? Oh, they do these fasting. It's totally state run. They do preventive care. And also it kicks you into spiritual awakenings. There I will give thee the essence of wisdom, so that with power you may shine among men. There will I give unto thee the secret, so that ye too shall rise to the heavens. God, men, and truth as ye essence ye be. Depart now and leave me, while I summon those ye know of, but as yet know not. The wheel will be turned, the key that you hold, give unto thee the secret, so that you too may rise to the heavens. Thoth has made extraordinary claims at this tablet regarding possible space travel. Extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. I decided to take a look into how we can open a Stargate portal, and if the ancients left any evidence behind proving it might be possible. The evidence is both scientific and spiritual. When you combine the two, you have unified physics. Did you hear that? That's why I want you to get his versions, because no one's writing this shit in the 1920s after they've translated this. No one's writing this. So you want to get this, because he's breaking it down. He wrote a quote on Tesla: the day science begins to study non-physical phenomena, it will make more progress in 1 decade than in all the previous centuries of its existence. Nikola Tesla. Do you understand why they actually suppress energy, free energy for all? Are we finally starting to realize that capitalism is evil? You might say, oh, but I have my own small business. Do you understand what a small business was 2,000 years ago? It was a shepherd growing his flock. It was a farmer growing wheat for bread. No one was stopping anyone from doing that. No one was stopping. No one was stopping anyone from doing that. No one was stopping. You understand? In other words, there was not the kind of oppression that we see today. There was a free-flowing sharing. And if you go all the way back to Atlantis, because they could actually control their monkey mind from colliding with manifesting anything, right, on the spot, that's one of the reasons why we have delayed manifestation. Because our monkey mind just keeps colliding against our desires. That's why before you desire anything, make sure you ask yourself, what is the greater good? I want to write a book. I want to make enough money so that I can live well. I don't need to be, I mean, it's not denying abundance to yourself, but it's saying, I'm going to give you an example. So I want to write a book. What is this book about? Well, it's about star seeds. Well, what is it about? About how we fell. Okay. What is the benefit to the collective so they can actually ascend? Knowing how they fell. And what do you need to make that happen? I need to make this amount of money every year so that I don't need to sweat bullets and I can write my next book. Oh, but this is for the collective benefit. So we will make sure that we will lead you to what you need to do to get this end result so you can write your book. In a sense, your desire has to have in it what is not what's in it for me, what's in it for the collective. And that desire will give you the portals that open up to your path. Does that make sense? That's going to be very important. Because it's not about just desire. And here was Nikola Tesla. And it's interesting how they use him as an example. Have you ever seen Nikola Tesla's last pictures before he's dead? He looks horrible. He looks like he's a victim of famine. He's broke as broke. He dies in a hotel alone. He rejects women. He's completely bereft. His ideas were stolen legally. I love law. Isn't that law? Law has nothing to do with justice. So his work is stolen. And the day he dies, you know this, right? The alphabet channel of a government came in and fucking took all his papers, all his study, everything he had studied for years. Gone. And all he wanted was create free energy for the collective. So when you hear a story of this kind of failure, it creates cynicism on people like me who talk about things like that. Why? Because, well, look, that's not how the world works. Capitalism, it's not how it works. It works like, and look, I want to be more like Edison. You see what I'm saying? And it's done on purpose. So they use these people as evidence that if you don't do it our way, this is how you end up. Forgetting to mention, this is what they created. So you see how the 1% knows exactly how to use us and use our egregores of fear against us? But that is ending. You can see that, right? That is ending. That's why they're afraid of TikTok. TikTok is a powerful, even though they've been trying to play the game to pacify the monsters, and they'll pull my live because some troll will come in and say something that's a lie. But here I am. So we're kind of close to the end, the finish line, and it's going to get, unfortunately, I guess, uglier until people realize that it matters to you too. The Appalachian people are finally, in those mountains, are finally realizing that, yeah, what was happening to the Palestinians in Florida when they're writing their fucking names and birth date and closest relative, harked back to what the Palestinian women had to do with their children, so they at least would know if that arm belonged to someone, that they could actually give it proper rights. They're training us, don't you see that? To accept everything. They literally took a lot of the practices they've been using and, in a way, using it with us. In very, what you would think, benign, well, it's a hurricane. What are you going to do? Well, it's the whole infrastructure in the North Carolinas, what are you going to do? The roads are, what are you going to do? I don't know, build it? Have you thought of building it while you're setting up your FEMA? You're setting up your FEMA instead of putting helicopters and drones. You're not using your drones to find people? That's interesting. How come? You're finding people in buildings with your drones in that other country. You're using drones all up in that, looking for people in buildings in that part of the world. But no, let's not use drones to find people who finally, there's a whole family that passed away. Their lives were ripped out of their hands. 11 members, because they didn't do shit. And they were grounding people who wanted to volunteer for helicopters. They owned their own helicopters. They were grounded. People are trying to go up there. Do you think these people have money for a drone? So they're going up there on horseback and mules trying to find people. Smelling the decay of people who didn't make it. When I read to you things like that, it's not just to entertain you. It's to really make you understand how incredibly evil these people we call leaders are. Like the kind of evil that you might, well, why would they do? There must be a reason. Well, let me put it that way. A serial KILER. Do you really want to find out why they did what they did? Look at the justice system with the Mendez brothers. Look at the documentary on the Mendez brothers on Netflix. Because O.J. Simpson walked, they decided that they would make these boys an example who had poured their and they prevented the 54 relatives and all of the documentation of the essayed abuse that went on from probably birth. They remember when these boys have said, "Oh, I started when I was 8, or I started when I was 6." From birth, that doesn't just start. With pictures that are so inappropriate that Kitty Menendez had with her handwriting saying Lyle's 6th birthday. The most inappropriate photos, okay? But they went to jail for 30 years. And TikTok is the reason, because one of the family relatives thanked TikTok. Gen Xers and the millennials who went out. Meanwhile, my boomer crowd, because I'm a boomer, were laughing, these people, laughing Jay Leno, shame on you. Oprah, shame on you. All of you, shame on you. For bullying young men, children basically, 20-year-old, 21-year-old children, saying shit they had never even articulated to each other as brothers. Could barely articulate to their cousin who actually essayed him, committed harikari on himself. That's what I'm going to say, because I will not use that word on Enliven. Harikari on himself because he couldn't handle it. Because he had to live with the fact that he was too young to go through the process of sharing that with adults, because he'd been sworn by those little boys not to say anything. When I read the Emerald Tablet, it isn't just about let's go kumbaya and save ourselves. It's to save all of us and to save us from the injustice of this machine. And the fact that they're going to walk out with probably broke. And the state of California should fucking pay him reparations. I'm not joking. For putting them through all of that in court, the first trial, and then denying any essayed evidence in the second trial. It was all, did you know that? Completely not allowed. That is not how justice, and we have seen how justice works in our country and other countries. In other countries like France, you are guilty until proven innocent. In America, you are innocent until proven guilty. To be honest with you, I haven't seen the evidence of that ever. We have death penalties that have been used against people who later on or on the spot or hours before were found to be innocent. And well, we've already paid the guy. Let's just go on with the ceremony. We've already paid him. Everyone's been paid. We sent out the press release. Sorry. So does that make sense? So when I read these books to you, I need you to read these books the way I'm inviting you to read them the way I read them. Like, okay, what is the profane? What is the darkness? What is the infidels? Who are they? Well, they're running in our face. When Biden, with a straight face, says, I am the best friend of those, he says it. He says the country, best friend, the most loyal friend. Yeah, but you're not even loyal to your American brothers and sisters who are suffering on the streets, who are being incarcerated for being homeless. So you can have free slave labor. It continues. Just another term. This is so jacked up, it's not even funny. And this was apparently hidden, found in the 1920s, or translated rather. And then the question we have to ask ourselves is, when was it released and by whom? Who kept this? Who kept it? Where was it found? How was it found? Those are things I'll research myself. But we need to know. Okay, just like we know how the Dead Sea Scroll was found. And how much of it was burned by ignorance. TikTok is a ticking clock. It's a ticking bomb, actually. Because it is interesting, and TikTok is the most interesting word of all. We're talking about the illusion of time. We're talking about the illusion of how clocks have a wrapped up in enslavement, in terms of how we're no longer connected with the beautiful algorithm of the balance of this planet. We're like no longer connected to it. We do not feel its frequency the way we used to. We don't believe in magic. Which part of these incarnations, the fact that we are souls, the way we travel from timeline to timeline and dimensions and planets, that's fucking magic. That isn't 3D constructed reality. It's magical. So the minute you stop believing in magic, you are now encased in the cement walls of 3D reality. And of course, at that point, from that angle, perception, there is no magic. Anyway, let me go ahead and get excuse me, I lost my train of thought. I know I promised you an oracle card. And as usual, I want to know what power. Let me go ahead and get Excuse me, I lost my train of thought. I know I promised you an oracle card. And as usual, I want to know what power has to say to us. And then we'll call it a day, at least for a while. But so I want you to concentrate on what the message is for the collective. And I want you to ask, what do we need to know about our ascension? Okay? What do we need? That's the question I'd like to ask. What do we need to know about the ascension? Thank you for the hearts. I love it. Thank you. And what do we need to know about our ascension? And when you're ready, pick top, bottom, and middle, and let's see what comes through. Okay? What do we need to know about our ascension, our awakening, our rights to thrive on this planet and other planets and other incarnations? But what is going on in our ascension right now as a people, as brothers and sisters? Middle. Okay, go ahead, guys. Type in fast, or else I'll just choose middle right now. Is it middle? Middle. Okay, I'm gonna go. It's Kali. Okay, it's Kalika Tantrika. It's 35, and it's 35. Number 35 is 8. 8 is karma to be paid. Why? Well, karma is twofold. One, you fucked up in other incarnations. You were the little man with the mustache, or you were a crazy, person that did some like Genghis Khan shit like that, or you were betraying yourself. Okay. Listen to this. Kalika Tantrika. Our wild mother goddess overcomes duality, resting in the sweet spot of integration, healing, and creativity. She facilitates the overcoming of tensions and conflict, birthing sacred solutions and evolution into greater bliss. Kalika Tantrika is Kali, the Tantric queen. She overcomes all karma. Did you hear that? She overcomes all karma, realigns pathways when we have veered off course, reverses the momentum of negative use of free will. Did you hear that? Negative uses of free will. What is negative use of free will? Well, being so afraid of knowing the truth that you run back and go back into regression, a state of spiritual regression, or self-harming. Fucking, I'm out. I'm gonna do harikari. Restoring use to full vitality, right? But she reverses the momentum of negative uses of free will and detaches draining energy cords, restoring us to full vitality. Her presence announces significant change and positive improvement in all aspects of your life, especially your spiritual life. Well, really, your spiritual life is going to govern your material life. It doesn't go the opposite. Let me just say. The Tantra of Kali is the teaching of the eminence of the goddess. Her appearance in a reading indicates a time when the feminine principles must be in the dominant position. This is not a declaration that the feminine is superior. It is equal to the masculine, yet different. You see, you guys like, don't be in your, oh my God, the feminine, the masculine, the this, the that. It's a balance. Remember, yin and yang on top of the flower of life. That image is, that's why I hope you guys get the book. As a matter of fact, I want you guys to message me on some of my posts and tell me I got the book. That would make me very happy. And clearly, I don't have it for you to buy. So I'm not trying to hustle you to buy it from me, though I don't see anything wrong with doing that, but I'm not doing that. It is a recognition that the feminine is the holding and birthing energy. To shift from one-way paradigm or political structure, the feminine must lead. As Kali, she disrupts negative power structures. Did you hear that? As Kali, she disrupts negative power structures and holds the space for something completely new to emerge from the rubble. The simplest way to describe the eminence of the goddess is that it's the deep respect for intuitive knowing and action taken on the non-rational, yet deeply insightful instincts of the heart. This is not about being emotionally reactive. There are multiple expressions of the sacred tantric inversion, placing the sacred feminine in the leadership position and deconstructing patriarchy. So this is, when we say deconstructing patriarchy, she's right. She's also meaning matriarchy. Why? Because patriarchy and toxic matriarchy had to exist together. We practice it when we listening to our intuition with complete courage. Did you hear that? We practice it when listening to our intuition with complete courage, rather than going against our inner knowing for the sake of logic. Yeah, logic is your monkey mind. Logic is your friends around you going, well, that's not logical. You going to Peru. Logic? What do you mean logic? It's not logic for me to go to Peru. What are you talking about? Well, it's kind of dangerous and you really don't have the money. The money? Another is reversing the flow of what has been generated. This man may mean halting a path you wanted to travel, but have now come is reversing the flow of what has been generated. This man may mean halting a path you wanted to travel, but have now come to realize is not honoring your heart. It could be a breaking down of what has been established because it has become too restrictive and needs to be rebuilt in a new way, or perhaps releasing altogether. What does that mean? It means maybe you're writing a book and you're realizing it's shit. And you go, you know what? It's shit. I'm not finishing this book. Even reading a book that you think is shit. Oh, well, I started the book. I might as well finish it. Why? It's a piece of shit. It's a bad book. Stop reading it. Give it to someone else. Put it on some street bench, bus. Leave it there. It's weird how we force ourselves to finish shit that's shit. Because I need to. I have to complete what I start. Some things shouldn't be completed. You know what I'm saying? It's okay to say, this was not what I thought it would be. From the simplest thing as a meal in a restaurant that could give you food poisoning to a book that's bad or your own creation. It could be a breaking down of what has been established because it has become too restrictive and needs to be rebuilt in a new way or perhaps released altogether. Remember that which appeal to the caterpillar is not going to tempt the butterfly. As the soul evolves, our needs and desires often undergo a profound transformation too. Tantric teachings resonate less with clean and tidy and methodical approaches and more with wild, spontaneous, shamanic energies innately tuned to and responsive to life. The primal force of the feminine is moving you along your soul journey at present. To tune into what primal power requires loosening the mental grip over your life. Allow for more space, more flexibility. If your schedule is so tightly wound that every minute is accounted for, set the intention to slacken the reins. The feminine needs freedom. That means you who are mothers and fathers who are, putting your kids through all kinds of fucking scheduled activities need to stop, for Christ. Just stop. Take your kid on a walk in the mountains or on the beach. Make fucking bread with your kid. Fuck ballet today. It's raining. We're making bread. Okay, Mom. She cannot be crammed into minimal spaces and expected to thrive. If you try to control her, she will rebel. And when she is Kali, her rebellious topple kingdoms. Thank God. It is possible to heal and transform even radically without evoking her wrathful nature if you are open to her guiding presence. Her wrath is love, so we need not fear it, but it can certainly be a welcome change of pace for powerful shifts to be able to happen with grace and ease. When Kali Tantrika arises in your reading, you are encouraged to listen to your gut and allow for wisdom to emerge. Act according to instinct and let go of methods that do not resonate with your heart, even if your mind tells you that not following those methods would lead to failure. Not just your mind, everyone around you. You're going to drop out of college? Are you kidding? Why? You're going to drop out of Princeton? Well, Steve Jobs did. Look at what happened to Steve Jobs. The Tantra of Kali is the practice of unconditional trust in the feminine. Her ways are unpredictable, apparently, ever-changing, and when she manifests as Kali, if you try to pin her down and control her, she's likely to lop off the offending appendages. Instead, we submit to her, entering into the black void of possibilities and not knowing, with the realization that even when we don't know what is going on, the divine feminine does. In other words, it's you knowing, I need to leave the country now. Well, what are you going to do? Sell my house? What are you going to do next? I don't know. But I know that I have divine appointments. How do you know? I just know. It's called the unspoken knowing. So it's trusting in what you desire. As long as it's not deviant or corrupted, and you know what it is. It's pure trust. It's time for me to go. If we willingly open to her sacred knowledge rather than try to impose our will and logic and desire upon her, she will show us what's going to work best. This is a time when the heart knowing must lead above the intellectual assessment of things. It is also when we are best moved by a greater guiding intelligence rather than doggedly sticking to a plan and trying to assert ourselves. That's a masculine thing. I'm going to be blunt. Masculine energy is, damn it, we got to finish the project. The feminine goes, she's yawning on her hammock going, yeah, fuck it. I'm going to take the day off. This is the wrong path. Let me figure out the next path because this is not it. This doesn't feel good to me. In fact, it's making me sick. So I'm going to pause. I'm going to let my download show me what my next move is because this is definitely not it. The feminine is not as direct in her approach as the masculine. Her seeds germinate in darkness. Yeah, germinate in dark. It means sometimes you're pausing and you may actually pace the floor like a lion caged. Be patient. Meditate and meditate and meditate until it comes to you. In your dreams, say, I want to remember my dreams. Give me the answers in my dreams. I've done that many times and woken up out of dead sleep with the answer. Her creative methods are not always seen, yet are powerful. The oracle brings encouragement that even though it seems like your will is being thwarted, or you are not getting what you want right now, or you just wish you could have clarity and know your directions, you are still making progress. Things are coming together in the best way, and something is growing that is aligned with the divine plan you were born to fulfill. You are encouraged to restore your inner energies and move when you feel inspired, rather than thrusting forward in an attempt to make progress. The goddess knows what she's doing. Her actions will benefit you, and all beings profoundly allow her to have her way. This is like probably the 5th time I've gotten this card in probably 6 months. And I think I got this card in this month. And the reason why it's coming up again and again is many of you are not listening to this incredible wisdom. You're just not listening to it. You're not doing it. You're like dogged. You're like a bone on a dog. You won't let go of your idea of what it should be. You're like I had a client yesterday and I did some pretty heavy. It was a very fucking heavy reading. Heavy. On her twins. They're in separation. He's someone else. On his really deviant deviant shit that I had to spell out. And guess what? She came clean and said, yes, that is something that we've, and I went, whoa. Now, do you think that's good for you? Because, do you think that's the right thing to do for you? No, I just wanted to please him. See, women are very quick to doing whatever they need to do to keep a man satisfied, even if it means selling their soul down the river. And that was not okay. It's one thing if you do it to heal a man or a woman, where you go down that dark hallway to pull them out of the hallway, not to go in and try to enjoy it with them, if you get what I'm saying. And I said some shit that there's no way I would have known unless I was really downloading. And she had to admit, I said, please don't be embarrassed. I don't give a fuck. I'm a sex advocate. I've been doing this for 40 years. Don't worry about it. Am I correct? Please just, can we move along? So help me help you, right? And she finally came clean. And I went, okay. So that confirms everything else I've just told you. That means that this is not good for you. It doesn't matter if it's a twin. This is the point where it's the end of the line. Either he comes into the light with you, but you're not going in the darkness with him. It's a fucking hell no. No human being is worth you staying in the dark with them. None. That's not okay. So either they come to the light to you, or in this incarnation, it's not happening. And for some of you, that's going to be a reality you're going to have to face. Okay? That's going to be really important. And when you love someone unconditionally, this is a path that's going to be riddled with a lot of stones and broken glass that you're going to have to walk on. And you're going to have to ask yourself, is this me? Am I doing enough to keep this person in my life? Or is this me? If it's you, that's a whole other show. But if it's not you and you're going against your innate nature of light and tantric sexuality, and you're going to just keep this person because that's what they're into, don't fucking do it. Explore where their mind is at, like see it, like don't run and not see what it is. See it for what it is. See if you can pull them out of it. And if you can't, all bets are off in this incarnation. You come first, always. This is why I don't believe in this whole twin flame dynamic. Oh, well, if they were a twin, they wouldn't be like that. Oh, are they all Yeshuas walking on water? Really? There's a lot of toxic shit in the New Age. That's why I'm against the term New Age now. I call it ancient wisdom because it's ancient. And I just read you the proof of ancient wisdom, and it all walks in light. It is always about the light. It is never about the darkness. Does that make sense? Exactly. I love and respect myself too much. Thank you, brother. Any other questions or comments? Self-care. It's more than that. It's self-advocacy. It's self-advocacy. Self-advocacy is the same. It's because, you see, you have to understand, there are people that will advocate for their twin, their child, with a ferocity that they will never give themselves. Never, never. They're fucking welcome that. Everyone can abuse them. Everyone. But if somebody that they love is harmed, oh my God, they're fucking like lions. But they'll never do it for themselves. So it's self-advocacy. Self-care is I'm going to take a shower, I'm going to meditate, I'm going to eat the right foods, I think I'm going to fast, I think I'm going to go on vacation. But self-advocacy is, no, I'm not doing that. No, I'm not having a threesome. No, I'm not going to do orgies. No, I'm not going to do any of that shit. No, I'm not going to bring this person into our bed. No, I'm not going to be polyamorous. No, I'm not going to actually explore Marquis de Sade with you and actually you live that with you. Like actually make it happen as a fantasy. Not doing that. I'm not doing any of that. That's not who I am. But before you can say no, you have to know where they're going with this. Once you know where they're going, you can put fucking massive brakes on the whole thing and go, why are you exploring? What is it about you that you feel like you have to go there? What is it about you that you feel like you don't deserve to be loved? And loved in a tantric way, in a spiritual way that actually blisses you out. What is it about you that you feel like you don't deserve to be loved? And loved in a tantric way, in a spiritual way that actually blisses you out. Like almost like, a flash of lightning coming out of the body. And for a minute, you are a soul feeling the breath of God on your cheeks, on your forehead, because that tantric connection was so divine. Why would you go into the darkness where only demons live, profane souls live, where the deeper you go into the tunnels, the more deviant the desires. Right? P. Diddy, just saying. For example, he's the poster child right now. But Hugh Hefner was doing that shit. Everyone was applauding him. Oh my God, you scored. With his little tunnels and his little girls. He's all these scared girls. And this idea that to be on the covers of Playboy was a flex, while Brooke Shields, what was she, 10 or 12, is on the covers. Deviancy that was normalized in the 1970s. We are no longer those people. Thank the fucking Lord. So we are ascending, but we need to pick up the pace. Does that make sense? Thank you, my love. Does that make sense? We have to pick up the pace. When you have pedos being sent to that little country over there, the most moral army, that country that has such morality that they've allowed pedos to flee into their country, shit like that, you got to ask yourself a lot of questions like, wait, hang on, what? To your own people? I mean, so it's when you weave evil in and out of your conversations with light, when you start using examples of various countries and their philosophies and how they approach human rights and how human rights only belongs to one sect of people but not to all humans, we got a problem. When human rights are controlled by capitalism, we are fucked as a people. And the sad part about the hurricanes was that finally, God bless you all as Americans, you got to see how you matter. Not at all. You would have thought after Katrina, this would never happen again. And it sure in the fuck did. Because they don't give a fuck. They don't want to build up a strong infrastructure. If a hurricane like Katrina ever hits New Orleans again, Louisiana, they are fucked once again. Nothing was fixed to that level. You know that, right? Nothing was improved. It's the same old shit. It will collapse again. So it is what it is. Stay in the light, protect the children, human rights, always. We call them rock spiders here. Oh, that's interesting. Very cool. Any other comments or questions? Anything at all? I'm going to let you go. I will upload this emerald tablet slash, I don't know what else I'll call it, but you'll see this exact art. That's why every time I do a live, I do different art, so you can actually find it on my YouTube. The YouTube channel is Sacred Intimacy Tarots, or you can go to my profile page and look up on my link tree. It's right there. If you want a reading from me, if you want to read, get your Akashic reading done with me, let me know. Go on my website, which is on my Linktree profile, and I will call you and we'll do a chat to talk about what the Akashic reading encompasses. If you want to do a hypnotherapy, I'm internationally certified as a hypnotherapist. And we do it on Zoom. If you want a reading on your twin flame or just a reading, starseed, or what have you, you can just give me a call. Contact me, but I will never contact you. That's for damn sure. And there are a lot of shysters out there. And I had a couple, in fact, my son twice this year, I think it was 3 times actually, where he was hit up by someone posing as me. Can you imagine? My own son? That was funny. But not funny if you don't know me. So I will never do that to you. Thank you. Great. Well, thank you for listening. I appreciate it. Anything else? Any last words? I want to thank you all for being here. Please share this live with the Emerald Tablet if you think it's going to help others. Again, the Emerald Tablet, I highly recommend the Billy Carson version because the footnotes are incredible. And there's connections to other things you can read and study. There are links to, he has links. And if you get the Kindle version, I would imagine you get the hyperlinks, right? And you can go to exactly what he's referring to. And so let me look at anything else. I will rest. Yeah, thank you for your voice. You